if something isn't life-threatening, it can only be ego-threatening. And the ego is absolutely a necessary part of our existence. The thing is, I don't want ego driving. Our brain likes the idea that if we do things, then we're owed things. But in reality, that is not the case. You have to re-earn every single patient visit that you ever see, every single time. Welcome to another episode of the Physician Growth Accelerator, a show where we break down your private medical practice systems into vitals, give you the tools to diagnose root cause of what may be restricting your growth, and prescribe what to do about it. I'm your host, Zed Williamson, and I believe that everything we experience in life is the perfect outcome of our current systems. So if we want something different, we have to tweak the system. Now, I'm going to make a statement, and it might sting a little bit, and I do these things on purpose. I've studied the brain and behavior long enough where I have an idea of how to trick myself, meaning I know that my brain isn't always going to do the right thing on its own because there is bias and heuristic involved. And there are times where the brain is going to try to take shortcuts because it believes something different about the environment. It believes that maybe there is more potential harm for me than there truly is, or it's just not reading the room correctly. So the statement that might sting a little bit is I want you to think about your private medical practice. I want you to think about all the patients. Maybe you're listening to this on the drive in and you have patients scheduled today, or maybe it's the weekend and you have patients scheduled coming up in the next week. I want you to think about all the patients that you've ever seen and the patients that are on your schedule in the future. And I want you to realize that you are not owed any of those patient visits. You don't deserve a single one. Now, the reason I state this and the reason why it stings a little bit is our brain doesn't like that idea. Our brain likes the idea that if we do things, then we're owed things. But in reality, that is not the case. You have to re-earn every single patient visit that you ever see, every single time. And the reason there's value in structuring, kind of wrapping your head around that framework, is think about how you would approach an issue within the practice. Let's say something about your website. Let's say you have an opinion about your website. It's not that great. It's kind of hard to maneuver. It's not very easy for patients to use, whatever. And then state those two scenarios. So the person who believes they're owed patient appointments and that they deserve patients to show up in their practice, how does that person look at that website and maybe the difficulty of its use compared to if you believe about your practice that you have to re-earn every single patient visit? How do you view that website? And so isn't that interesting that it's the same website, right? The same human, but when I frame the thought process about what it is, our desire to do something changes. In the first scenario, it doesn't really matter. I deserve patients anyway. In the second scenario, I better make this the best it can be. And that's the power in the statement. The power in the statement is tricking our mind to pay attention to the things that it probably tries to ignore. The brain is really good at feeling right. Are you a private practice leader dealing with team drama, growth headaches, or just trying to keep your head above water? Introducing the Physician Growth Accelerator membership, a free resource for our podcast listeners like you to get real solutions. Inside, you'll find exclusive materials, free courses, bonus podcast content, and live events, all designed to help your practice grow. It's free for now, so don't wait. Visit physiciangrowthaccelerator.com and click members to join today. So let's say there's something you don't enjoy. Let's say you don't enjoy finances. You don't like looking at numbers. Then what your brain is going to be really good at doing is it's going to be good at telling you reasons why you don't have to look at finances, and that why finances isn't something you can impact, and that they're not important, or that they're confusing, or that it's better for you to spend your time doing something else. And this happens with every aspect of our businesses. And if we allow our brain to drive, that's a little problematic. It's kind of like this idea that, if something isn't life-threatening, it can only be ego-threatening. And the ego is absolutely a necessary part of our existence. The thing is, I don't want ego driving. I don't mind ego being in the passenger seat, pointing out some dangerous spots every once in a while, having some fun every once in a while, but I don't want ego in control. And the brain is not going to stop that from happening because the brain just wants to be right and wants to be comfortable. So if we have this overall mindset that we're owed business, that we're owed a patient visit, or that we deserve patients to see us, it doesn't matter how skilled we are. It doesn't matter what our history is. There's much more power in stating that we have to earn every single new patient visit, every single repeat or existing patient, every treatment that someone moves forward. We have to earn every aspect of that. It will reshape how you think about your practice, and it'll help you create processes. It'll help you communicate with people better, and your patients will feel it, and so will your team. So I know it's kind of a more of a theory-based show today, a little bit hard to say, go specifically, do this. But I hope you can take something away from that. And it's okay if it stings, and it's okay if you don't like that I said that. There's value in pushing through that discomfort and wrapping your head around, I don't deserve it. I need to earn it every single time. If you ever want to dig into the operations of your practice, maybe you feel like your team isn't totally engaged and aligned and helping you achieve the goals predictably that you want to achieve, always feel free to reach out to us. You can visit physiciangrowthaccelerator.com. While you're there, check your vitals and see how you score. And we'll see you next time on the Physician Growth Accelerator.